Hi, my name is Zach Angela, and I just wanted to go over uh, the general thing of, I guess, my Gollemer project and sort of where I've been with it and um, different things that I may have added and generally, I guess, why I made it. And so its general idea is the training for it and the model. And the model basically does natural language processing, kind of like intent guessing, or at least that's its goal. I had just updated it to um, have because the issue was that I was missing kind of like a portion of truth, I guess, for it to learn, and so I implemented or put in there. Uh, I think it was like Facebook's model, Olama, but the teacher model. And basically, that teacher model looks over the logs, looks at the config file, um, uh, kind of runs through what it's doing and how to, like, I guess you could say, update it as it's training. There's already a supervisor that kind of sort of does that, but I wanted something that was, I guess, like I said, the path of truth. So that model would definitely know some of that rate. Whereas the supervisor, I think it's just kind of comparing values and doesn't have a path of truth, I guess you could say. So I added the other model about every 5 epochs. We'll kind of test out and see and change things, and basically say whether or not someone's passing or not. And this sort of kind of helps the process along. Does it have to have it? Not really, but I think having a path of truth sort of makes sure that things run smoothly and don't go off course, I guess you could say. Because otherwise, you may end up in a situation where it trains on, one word responses or like makes something really important that it really shouldn't. And so this sort of is a way to make it a little more dynamic, basically. Um, yeah, that mixture of experts architecture, the MOE, and that just means that it has multiple functions that run that then take the result and do a comparison. And that's really, at the end of the day, what that is. Um, the supervisor, and now I have some that does even more supervising over the training. Um, I guess this isn't an entirely true statement now because of those models. The training itself, though, doesn't have the dependencies, but the model tweaking things, watching it, obviously is a dependency. Um, Again, it's not totally needed, but just as a way for it to know, okay, well, yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, the supervisor may tweak things then, but what is the real truth that it should be doing right now? You know what I mean? It's hard to hard code truth into something that's already dynamic. And so having another model watch things sort of helps that. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're going to run the model, it, I mean, it's just going to be a go binary. So it's not like those other models are somehow in the training itself or in the usage of the model. They're just there to point things as it trains. Um, yeah, Quinn teacher. It monitors and looks for the salad, basically. And just because you can just leave it running and it will eventually get a lot better, but you have to leave it running for a couple days. And so, I mean, it's just speeds that up tremendously. Um, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And you can change its capacity and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, these two commands are basically the bread and butter of what you're going to be using it with. Um, yeah, there's the audio part, which also uses a different model whisper. But that's just, well, now it's actually helping it along. It gives the response using a different model, but then it trains the Gollemer model to make that response always. So it's a little bit more in the teacher for the speech to text portion. Um, and that was just because I felt like um, I was having it train, but the real problem was the complete and utter distinction between the different sound files and the different commands. I could get it close, but when it came to little things, it just wasn't. And if you're going to be running commands off of here, you really do got to have it as accurate as possible. Like if you're going to delete something, I mean, that's just, you know, how that's going to go. Um, yeah, and you could train it kind of more manually. Um, yeah, I mean, these commands right here, that's basically all you need if you're just going to use your computer. If you're going to be using a Pi that has 64-bit operating system, because there's, 32-bit and 64-bit, you would use one or the other, and then you would use these commands for the Pi. Um, that's generally it. Uh, let's see. How are you doing?
I am doing great, thank you.
What do you do?
Intent, social underscore chat, intent, social underscore chat. I think so.
Can you create a folder named Jim?
I process data and simulate conversations but do not have consciousness.
Um, can you create a file in Jim?
I process data and simulate conversations but do not have consciousness.
In the folder Jim, create a file main.go.
Intent, move underscore query. I have moved the file, Jimmy. Go to file.
Move the file of.go to Jim folder.
What did you say?
Create a file named Jim.go.
I said, what did you say?
Create a file named Jim.go.
I am doing great, thank you.
No, it's
You are.
Create a file named gym.go.
I noticed you mentioned Jim. Go. Should I scaffold that file for you?
Yes.
Glad to hear it.
Create a file named gym.go.
I've identified your intent as create_file, but I'm missing some details. I've identified your intent as you provide underscore file.
As you can kind of see, it needs some work, but this is sort of why the importance of making everything kind of more exact sort of help a lot, and that's sort of why I made the models kind of teach it um, to improve the accuracy and to um, just speed things along. But it's still learning from scratch and everything. So changing the training data will obviously change what it learns, and that's like half the battle. But um, that's part of the fun of it. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.